to Logged In, where we deep dive in the latest online trends, the buzz of the entertainment world, and the stories that shape our lives. I'm your host, Sheila Matthews, and today we're breaking down everything from sports achievements to heartwarming personal stories with a special eye on resilience and new beginnings. Joining me as co-host for today's journey is Clay, a former NCAA track standout and a memorable, to say the least, participant from Netflix's hit show Love is Blind. Together, we'll explore the intricacies of public life, the impact of legacy, and the ever-evolving concept of love.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm happy that you're here to join us today.
I appreciate it. I love to be here, and let's get to it.
All right, well, before we jump in, we gotta get to know you a little bit better.
Okay,
You gotta let
good.
the Logged In family know who you are.
For sure.
Okay, so Clay.
Yeah.
Your journey from NCAA to reality TV has been quite the transition, wouldn't you say?
For sure.
Yeah, so what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned from your time as an athlete that you've kind of taken into this new chapter of life?
For sure. Well, being an athlete, you definitely learn that failure comes with the territory. So, I'm not afraid to take risks and also fail, because I also felt like when I did track and field, you're always kind of running against yourself. You're going to have a lot of failures when it comes to, you trying to get to your best ability and get your personal record. So in life, I think I've always been able to take risks and also not be afraid of failure. And I think that my athletic background definitely played a big part in that.
All right, well, we got an athlete in the house, so thank you for that experience.
Of course.
Sharing your experience. And on the same note of experience, we gotta get into Love is Blind. We gotta get the Logged In family what they want here, right? Yeah, no, you're gonna tell us what's the tea. But I know it has to be difficult navigating relationships under such a public eye and intense scrutiny, especially from the internet, which we all know isn't a real place, but relationships formed in that show were. So I'm really curious to know about your relationship with your father, and if you feel like that storyline might have overshadowed your storyline in AD's in the quest for love on the show.
That's a good question. I don't think it overshadowed anything. I do think that it brought my family healing, which is the most important thing. Me and my family, we had recollection where we had a conversation. My dad apologized for certain things, and we all actually are going through this journey of therapy together. So I think it honestly brought something beautiful that came from it. So I don't think it overshadowed anything because it's part of my life. And, at the end of the day, we are putting in the groundwork to be better, so.
Absolutely. Like, we all know it's easy to throw stones. We're not in the situation, but sometimes it does take for a situation to come to us head on for us to see what we need to work on and what we need to heal from. So we give you your flowers for that. And, those experiences have shaped your views on relationships and personal growth significantly from what we can see. So what's your thoughts on people who feel like you might have gaslighted our girl AD?
I respect what people's opinions are, but respectfully, they weren't in the situation. Respectfully, always respect. But, I understand people being upset because AD is such a, pivotal, character on the show, and she's a pivotal person in my life. So I want people to support AD and give her the love that she deserves. But, I understand that at the end of the day, I said no to her at the altar, and that's going to have people a little bit upset. But I tried to make the decision that was best for me at that time, and I went with my heart. And I just hope people could learn to respect that, because I thought that I made the best decision for myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we do have to get into a little bit more before we let you go. We can talk about some sports today, but people like Wale chimed in on X and other celebrities of that nature, and they were just echoing sentiments that you only went on the show to promote your business. Is that fact or cap?
That's cap.
Okay.
It's definitely cap. But shout out to Wale. It's good that he's a fan of the show, and shout out to Netflix for making the show so pivotal where people like Wale could enjoy it and have opinions. But I kind of took the Wale comment like any other fan. At the end of the day, they weren't in the situation. They don't know my intentions. My business has been around since 2021. Love is Blind reached out to me at the end of 2022, so my business was already in play. I feel like it's a little bit of a hate because it's like at the end of the day, I already had these stuff with me. My business comes with who I am. So it wasn't like I was pushing it out when the show was coming out. I never really shoved it down anybody's neck or anything like that. So I kind of pushed back with the whole clout chasing comment, because it's like, what clout was I chasing? I didn't even watch the show before I joined it. So
yeah, you were pretty honest and vocal about that. So, like you said, people don't know how a situation is if they're not in it and they're not experiencing it. So, the only two people who really know what went down is truly you and AD.
For sure.
So, after this whole experience and both of you being in it, are you still on good terms?
Yeah, me and AD are good friends. At the end of the day, I'm always gonna have a soft spot for her because she did, give me a safe space for me to, be vulnerable and like share some things that I was insecure about. So I'm always gonna have her back. I'm always gonna support her in everything that she does. So we're definitely in a good place.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us get to know you a little bit more,
For sure.
Clay. And thanks for, coming here and answering the hard questions. Letting the family know who's at the cookout before we get started,
exactly.
right? So our first story today focuses on the beautiful moment when former NBA player Eddie House witnessed his son Jaylen make a splash in the NCAA tournament. So it's not just about the game, it's about the legacy, the pride, and the continuation of a family's passion for basketball. So Clay, having been in high-pressure collegiate athletic situations, can you imagine what this moment meant for both Eddie and Jaylen?
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember when my dad watched me run at the New York Armory for like the Melrose games, and also remember when my mom saw me win my state championship in New Jersey, and just like the pride that they have, just as like a parent to see that your son or your daughter is flourishing, it has to be such an amazing moment. So I'm happy for Eddie House for having that, moment with his son, because that's an amazing, just accomplishment to see your son flourishing on the biggest stage. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we love father-son moments here and just parent-children relationships, and it's absolutely a unique bond that they share. So let's take a look at Eddie's reaction during one of Jaylen's standout performances.
You get any texts about, hey, did you see your dad? Did you see how he was putting on in the stands this weekend?
Yeah, we got a group chat with like my family or like my cousins and some of my friends, and we got a screenshot of that right there, him like. So we was just laughing at that this whole little week.
I mean, it really gets no better than that, right?
No, definitely. Shouts out to them. I love their reaction. I think that was very genuine. I could just definitely see the happiness on Eddie's face. That's awesome.
Yes, like you can really feel the pride and the joy, like you said, radiating from Eddie.
Yep.
And it's just a reminder of how sports can bring families together
100%.
and create unforgettable moments.
Yes.
Moving right along to our digital scoreboard segment, we spotlight Russell Wilson's incredible gesture of sportsmanship. As Justin Fields steps into the Steelers' quarterback room, Wilson's welcoming attitude is a testament to his character and his leadership. Leadership on and off the field plays a massive role in team dynamics. And Clay, we know you've experienced with this, so tell me about how big of a moment you think this was for Justin Fields to be welcomed in that way.
When you got your leadership to embrace you, that just makes the situation a whole lot better. I remember when I was a freshman coming to University of South Carolina and the seniors embraced me. I was going to be on the 4x4 team. And when you get that endorsement from senior leadership, it just makes you step into your role. You want to get in there. You want to show up for your guys. So shout out to Justin Fields. I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for him to go to Pittsburgh where he could sit behind and watch Russell Wilson and not have the pressure to start automatically. So I think that's an awesome thing for him. And shout out to Russell Wilson as well for him even being so kind in his gesture to welcome Russell Wilson as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's take a look at Russell Wilson talking about his excitement for his future at the Steelers.
What's it like getting to know some of your new teammates, starting that chemistry, that building and bonding?
Yeah, the best part is that we got to fellowship together. Big Cam and Connor and Freiermuth and I all got together. We had some dinner last night, and then to be around some other players and talk to guys like TJ and Minka and spend some time with those guys on FaceTime and kind of asking them and talking to them a little bit about the culture here and the vision of winning and how their work ethic and vice versa.
Okay, Russ. All right, we can get behind that. I mean, his words highlight the importance of support and mentorship and unity with the team. And it's a lesson in leadership and humility that I think transcends sports.
For sure.
Our Spamming Screens segment today buzzes with Joy Chavis's recent announcement of her third pregnancy with boyfriend Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys. So this story, to me, touches on family and love and the intersection of sports and entertainment. I guess how you want to look at it. I don't know. So Clay, balancing public life and personal happiness is a theme that you're no stranger to.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on how to navigate such personal milestones publicly?
I mean, honestly, just having a close inner circle and, being close with your family, not really getting too hyped up with, you being in the public and you being a celebrity in a sense. I just think it's always good to have a good inner circle around you. And that's one of the things that I've been doing is just more so not really seeking validation from outside, people that haven't been in my life before, but more so getting closer with the people who have been supporting me the whole way. And I think that's a good way to navigate, everything that's coming your way.
Absolutely. And we were kind of talking about how tough it can be when you do share things on social media, like we'll take a look in a second that Joy did, and how those comments can get brutal. Like you're fighting for your life in the comment section. How do you also navigate that when you see these moments that were personal on the internet and everybody having an opinion?
Well, you just gotta sometimes just chalk it up and just say, hey, these people don't know me, and you know who you are. It could definitely affect you for sure. So one of the things my sister said is, you see 2 bad comments, get off the page. So that's one of the things that I've been doing. It's just not more so like really just like embellishing into the negative comments, more so just like staying off of it and just staying on my regular page, my For You page, things that I actually want to see, and not really going into the comment section, because you're right, it's like, it's chaos in there. You don't want to,
It's no winning.
It's no winning.
No winning in the comment section.
It's a lose-lose, so yeah.
All right, well said, Clay. Let's take a look at Joy's beautiful announcement.
This woman's world, ooh, it's hard on me. Now it's part, it's over. No.
Okay, she gave us all the things in
Yeah,
that
I love
announcement.
it.
I know that's right,
Shout out to
Joy.
her.
Okay, body.
Right?
All right. It's touching to see such personal moments shared with the world. And I think it reminds us of the universal emotions that tie us all together, regardless of fame.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've experienced that. And I think that it's also just like great to see love and life on such a big platform.
Yeah.
But, the controversy has come with age gaps recently with a lot of pregnancies. Drea, Joy, do you think it's a double standard when it comes to age gaps between men and women and men?
Love who you love. I kind of stay out of the the spectrum of like, hey, like men and women, like the double standards. It's like at the end of the day, do what you want to do to make you happy. That's kind of my standard. If for Joya and Jaylen, if they're having a great relationship, then shouts out to them, and they should flourish in that. Same with Trayvon and his girl. So I support it all, but I'm not gonna get into the gender wars, because I stay clean with that.
You said, look, we done with that. Diplomatic Clay, I know that's right. Well, when we look at other relationships like Young Miami and Diddy, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Ron Isley and Candy, we're kind of stuck wondering why these are overlooked and women are depicted as the old predators waiting in the wings.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I never really thought of it like that, but I definitely think that it could be a double standard in that sense, and like you don't know what Drea and Jaylen relationship is. Obviously, we see that Beyonce and Jay-Z is flourishing, and everyone looks up to their relationship. So at the end of the day, I think us as people, we just need to get out of other people's business and just kind of let people do what they do, and like if they're in love, let them be in love. Like don't try to judge, and stop being social media police, please.
A PSA from Diplomatic Clay. Wrapping up today's episode, our logged out segment heats up with the buzz around Mike Tyson's social media threats to Jake Paul. It's a clash of generations, careers, and personalities. So Clay, this brings up the debate of the age-old discussion when it comes to age versus experience when you're in that boxing ring. So what do you think about Mike Tyson stepping back into the spotlight to take on Jake Paul of all people?
Well, I gotta say, Jake Paul is a master marketer. I would say he knows how to pull the fans in to gain their interest. Pulling in Mike Tyson. I actually recently saw Mike Tyson's fight with Roy Jones, and Mike Tyson, like, he still got it. Now, one thing I'll be concerned with Mike Tyson is he actually training every single day? Because I know it looks like Jake Paul is. So it'll be interesting to see like if Mike Tyson can go the rounds, because I know that sometimes in his fights, especially later on in his career, the longevity of him going the rounds was a little bit of the issue. So if Jake Paul could take him to the distance, it could be a good fight. But I think for Mike Tyson, you're gonna want to get that nice knockout hit in.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Jake Paul fall really, so It's gonna be a good fight. It's definitely gonna have my interest. I'm gonna tune in, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna tune in, and that's a great perspective. We'll see if Mike can last the rounds and what Jake shows up to do.
Yeah.
But let's take a moment to see what Tyson had to say about the potential matchup.
Day 3, you still want to me? One more. Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
He's talking heavy. He's talking heavy.
Mike Tyson talking that talk.
I mean, I get it though. When you're Mike Tyson, you can do that.
Yeah.
And his fire and readiness to jump back in the ring is unmistakable. It's not just about the physical challenge, but also about proving to oneself in the world what you're capable of,
Sure.
regardless of your age. I'll give him that. He's a little up there.
Yeah.
He's up there. So I'm curious to see if that plays a role in other ways too. Who knows? I mean, did you see Mike in that video though?
I did see him in that video, and he definitely looked like he's ready to go fight. So, Mike Tyson's not a guy you want to, piss off.
Nah, you don't want to poke the bear when it comes to him. And Clay, we've touched on so many topics today, from sportsmanship to personal milestones, and even the potential of a comeback. It's clear that resilience, adaptability, and courage to face new challenges are themes that resonate across all of our stories today.
Sure.
Well, it's been a packed show today, and Clay, thanks for coming by.
you.
And having you here really added depth to our conversations. But before I let you go, I gotta ask a burning question that I have.
Okay.
And a burning question that the social media streets have. So I gotta know, which hurts more, losing a championship or losing the love of your life?
That's a good question. I think the championship probably burns you a little bit more because you're with your guys, and it's like other people got to experience that with you. Whereas the love of your life is kind of like something that you're dealing with internally, and I think that you could kind of do things to distract yourself from like the hurt of that. Whereas when you're with your guys and you're going through hurt, like everybody reminds you of that lost championship. I remember my sophomore year when we were competing to get a state championship, and that senior class never won. And every time we see that senior class, they always remind us. So that hurt is still here, which is like 10 years later. So I think that one has a burning desire. But I just lost my love of life, so find me 10 years from now, we'll see which one hurts.
Ask you that again. Okay. And the one that's social media, they're gonna beat me. They like to tussle. We talked about that. But I don't ask you this. Why was the first thing out your mouth, yes, body? The body was bodying. We always at the altar.
I don't think people understand me and AD's banter. We were like really like flirty, and I just wanted to stay on brand with our relationship because the body was body, and I had to give her credit on that.
Shout out to AD.
That dress was definitely hitting. So I just wanted to let her know to feel confident. But I didn't know it was going to take off on social media. I was just really complimenting her, but maybe I just got to compliment other things definitely. But it was just our banter, and we was just having fun.
Well, Clay, thank you for joining me today as my co-host and for sharing your experiences with us and the Logged In family and kind of pulling back your layers for us a bit. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, well, we know, y'all, only if you're going to leave nice comments. Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Clay_Gravesandy. That's CLAY_GRAVESANDE.
All right, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you for tuning into Logged In. Your engagement drives us to bring the most compelling stories and conversations to the forefront. Remember to subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss out on the conversation. A special thank you to today's guest and the team behind the scenes. Catch us next week, same time, same place, for more insights and updates from the world of sports, entertainment, and everything in between. Stay logged in, folks.
Log out.